Hello, my name is Emma, and I went to a really cool Harry Potter event, but my footage was just not up to par, so we're gonna do a story time video. Basically what happened was Scholastic hosted this really awesome event for the release of Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, which, if you didn't know, is the 8th and final Harry Potter book. It's in play format. The book is coming out as the script, and it's really exciting. So Scholastic did something really cool to hype up the release that I've never heard of before, and I was honored enough to be invited to see it unfold. So when I first received the email, it was a very short email, and the only thing it said was, "Hey Emma, I have some really cool Harry Potter news coming, but before I tell you more, I need you to sign a non-disclosure agreement." And my first thought was, when did YouTube get this legit? And my second thought was, the only non-disclosure agreement I've ever seen was in 50 Shades of Grey, so I'm a little nervous going into this. Now, of course, being the massive Harry Potter fan that I am, I had to go through with it, and I found out that there was going to be this really awesome thing called a Muggle mob. Now, it was a little hard for me to understand what was going on at first, but what I could gather was there was going to be a flash mob in honor of the release for Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, and immediately I was like, I am there. And of course, with my life being a never-ending non-stop cycle of busyness, this was also happening the week that my friend Red from Little Red Reader was here, so Scholastic was kind enough to offer me a +1, and we got to go to the event and be press, and it was really cool. So because I was still a little foggy as to what this Muggle mob actually was, I went into Soho in front of the Scholastic building, and there were just like a ton of people just standing across the street, and I was like, okay, well, at least we're in the right place. There were news cameras and other people doing press like me for various social media outlets, and there were fans who I'd assumed had gotten like a hint about what was going on. It was honestly just so cool to be surrounded by all these people that loved Harry Potter. I feel like the last time I was in like this big crowd of Potterheads was probably the release of the 8th movie when I went to that midnight showing. So that had happened years ago, and it was just so awesome to be surrounded by all these people just waiting for something about Harry Potter. It was like really cool. And so the West brothers had shown up because they work for Scholastic, and Jessie from Jessie the Reader made it in time, and so did Kathleen. So there's this big bundle of people from BookTube just standing together and watching Harry Potter. It was very cool. And so we're waiting and waiting, and then all of a sudden the Harry Potter theme just starts, and there's just chills and feelings, and it's like, you know when you listen to the Harry Potter soundtrack, whether you're listening to it for the movie or you're just putting on as background music, there's just this feeling of nostalgia and happiness and joyfulness that you get when you listen to it, and it was just like full blast because the speakers were so loud, and it was just an amazing feeling. And so to start off the event, all of these different people from all of these different angles of the street just kind of come in, and they're all just walking and holding Harry Potter books, and all of a sudden they are holding all of these books up to us. And now there's like 300 Scholastic employees, so like 300 Harry Potter books, and there's people just like reading in the street. Side note, very dangerous, 0 to 10, do not recommend unless you are Scholastic and have the money to pay to block off an entire New York City street. And so let me show you some of the footage from this event. here was a little upsetting, and I think anyone watching was just like, oh. I'll let the footage explain for itself. It was gonna be so great on footage, everyone was so excited for it, and it just, so close. That banner was like heavy canvas, it was 12 stories high, Scholastic must have paid so much money to have it made, and of course, it stops. It gets all twisted and crinkled, and it just does not fall down, and everyone's there still cheering, like, yeah, it's gonna come down, we're gonna get it. It never came! So of course, after waiting a little bit, because you know, we're muggles and we're not magical and we couldn't just get this banner to fall perfectly to the way that it was, everyone who was holding Harry Potter books came out and just walked around and gave them out on the street to people who were waiting around. So basically hundreds of Harry Potter books got given away just in Soho for the release of Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. So after the Muggle Mob had ended, we had gone inside to the Scholastic office, which is like so beautiful and fun and like life goals to work there. But as we were inside of the building, we see that the banner actually starts to come down. They had to get a crane to take this banner down. That's how intense it was. But Scholastic was so determined to get the Harry Potter and the Cursed Child poster just up and running, and when it was there, it was glorious. I will insert a picture here because I didn't get any footage because it was like 20 minutes after the event ended. But it looked so great over the Scholastic building once the event had ended. It was just so cool to see so many people just standing around on a street corner just waiting for something about Harry Potter, and I think that just says so much about this fandom that, like, we don't care what it is, you know, it could just be a poster being revealed on a building side, or it could be free books, or it could just be an opportunity to talk about Harry Potter. But I feel like the Harry Potter fandom is just so united, and it was just so cool to have so many people in my city just come together for this little event. I've honestly never seen a publishing company do something like this before, but I think it is definitely well deserved for this final Harry Potter book. Although I'm pretty bad, and I've read like 10 different plot summaries of the play, and I know everything that happened, so it's like I've already read the book. I am still so unbelievably excited for this release. If you didn't know, Harry Potter and the Cursed Child comes out on July 31st. It's very, very exciting, and I just can't wait for the whole fandom to just sit and read on July 31st like I know we all will. So Scholastic, thank you so much for hosting this awesome event and for allowing me to get some super special footage. I hope you guys enjoyed the Muggle Mob. I hope you enjoyed this video, but that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon for a new video. Bye!